Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Barb Meets World, and we are back today on the last day of the new year. Or what am I talking about? The last day of the year, the last day of 2025. My goodness, we're here. We're going to discuss a couple of things that happened throughout the year, some recent news, some things that I didn't get a chance to cover, but I wanted to make sure I touched on those topics before we conclude 2025. But before we all get into that, y'all, I do need you guys to like the video because it helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm, helps me attract new subscribers such as yourselves. So go on ahead, hit that button. Also, if you're not a current subscriber, hit the subscription button. I would love to have you. Also, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you all thought of these things this year. Let me know what you enjoyed, what you want to see in 2026. I want to hear everything. I want to hear if you want to share your resolutions, whatever you want to talk about, drop down in the comments. I want to hear it all. And share me with all of your folks. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And let's jump on into it. I'm sorry, y'all. I meant to come here earlier. But when I tell you guys, I went to get my eyebrows done. And for whatever reason, I got lost. Mind you, it's only 10 minutes from my house. But I got lost. And that just threw off my whole timeline for today. So I do apologize. I'm giving myself like 45 minutes, an hour. I wish I could go longer, but we're going to try to cover as much as we can during that time frame. And as you're coming on into the room, if there's anything you want to talk about or hit on or touch on, whatever, let me know. I still want to hear from you. I want to hear what some of your highlights were from this year. I want to hear about what topics that really just had you on the edge of your seat, which really just had you fully immersed in. I want to hear it all. And of course, like I said, don't forget to like the video. It is it's my 7th anniversary, my 7-year anniversary today too. So shout outs to us. Happy anniversary to us. We're going to dinner this evening. We go to the same restaurant every year. It's actually a restaurant we got engaged in, all the things. So I'm excited about that. And actually, I have my anniversary gift right here too, y'all, that my husband gave me. So I'll share it with you guys. Why not? Okay, so first thing he got me was this perfume. And when I say, y'all, I've been eyeing this for so long. I've been eyeing this for years at this point. But if you guys are familiar with me on any other platforms, specifically like TikTok and Instagram, where I share all of my fashion and beauty content and stuff like that, you probably see my fragrance collection. And honestly, I don't really need any more. I really don't. But nonetheless, he was so kind to give me this that I've been eyeing for so long. It smells so good, and I feel like it's going to really become one of my signatures. It's Insurrection Born to Be a Queen. I mean, because duh, right? It smells so good. I can't wait to open it and douse myself in it. I'll definitely be wearing this to dinner tonight. And then he also got me this cute little mixed metal Coach bag. It has gold and silver hardware, and I've been wanting to wear more silver hardware, so I'm glad to have this. And it's a little cute size. It definitely can serve you in the daytime as well as in the evening. Coach has like the best leather, y'all. Coach really has the best leather on the market. If you ask me, the girls that know. So I'm glad to add that to the collection. I don't know if I'll wear it tonight though, because it doesn't go with what I plan on wearing. But nonetheless, oh my God, my hair is just doing whatever it wants, y'all. When I tell you, I just slapped it on and just came down here and got to work, I really mean it. So not too much, because if you see how I'm pulled together tonight, just know, I pulled it together how it needs to be pulled together when the time is right. But anyway, let's jump into these topics, y'all. Okay, so one of the major um, one of the major things I wanted to talk about that we saw this year was, and I wish I had a specific graphic for this, but I don't. But nonetheless, it is, if you guys watch the Real Housewives of Potomac, then you already know what I'm probably going to say. Where is it at? Goodness, I know I just saved this. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. 1 second. Okay, let me share. So Stacey Rusch, when I say that she really has been the MVP for this season, and even I'll even give her last season too. She did a lot for the show, I feel like, last season as well, but this season she really is shining, and I am so excited to see her next season. I'm excited to see what all she gives us, because I really mean it when I say she really was like a breath of fresh air, so to speak. Because if you guys have been watching Potomac for a while now, you already know they kind of fell off. They kind of haven't really been hitting for what it needs to be hitting for several seasons now. And that's pretty much widely known. That's pretty much widely recognized by a lot of us viewers. So I really enjoy seeing her on the screen. I really don't enjoy seeing the ladies come after her week after week after week. But nonetheless, like she said at last year's reunion, she still is going to rise, still I rise. And I feel like she's really lived up to that on the show. But I really wanted to just touch on real quick, just one of the reasons why we really like her. And it's because she has a way with words, and she's very charismatic. And if you can sell us a glass of still lukewarm water, then I know what's up. Then I know what's up, like, period. So let me just play this real quick so you guys can get a glimpse of why a lot of us go up for her. She recently did a interview with Carlos King, and it was a really good interview. I feel like it gave us a lot of insight into her upbringing. And I have been thinking she had been on QVC for like years and years and years, but no, newsflash, she actually had only been working at QVC for the past handful of years or so. And she said that she really threw herself into work when she was going to be getting divorced. She knew that she was going to have to be, a single mother out here getting it and getting to the money, whatever means necessary. So I really admire her opening up and sharing another glimpse into her life. And I feel like this is exactly why the girls are mad, because no one can say that she doesn't give us her real life. Yes, she may sprinkle in some lies here and there, but I don't think that she is lying about everything, if that makes sense. Let me just play this.
As we think about the holiday season and we think about what really matters, right? We think about our families, we think about those special moments, but I think it's really important to also keep health in mind. And when you think about health, we all know that hydration is everything. It's one thing to have bottled water in a plastic bottle. Like, where did that come from? How long has it been sitting there? I don't really want water from a fridge. Like, have you changed your filter? I don't know. But this water in this glass, it's the perfect temperature. I mean, how refreshing does this look? Even when I take a sip, I'm speaking a little bit more clear. I'm sitting up a little taller. My thoughts are more clear. I mean, it's really about this water, not just any water. So when you think about your family this holiday season, when you want to create those memories that last a lifetime, I think you should think about your health and hydration, and cheers and toasting to 2026. As we think about
See, I love that. I love that because if you can sell, like I just said, if you can sell us some lukewarm water in a glass, then that she's very polarizing. as a cast member. And I feel like that's something that is seen by even just major news outlets lately. Between Essence, I want to say Vanity Fair recognized her. And so I wasn't surprised when Carlos announced that she was going to be the, what did he call her? The MVP, the named her the reality star of 2025. Yeah, I wasn't surprised about that. I don't have any qualms with that. I think that that was a title that she earned very well. And again, I can't wait to see where she takes us in 2026. Who else has had a very good year this year? Let's see. Okay, so one of the major shows that took us by storm this year was where I am getting so irritated because I know I saved all of these. I saved these posts in this particular folder, but they're not showing up. Oh, okay. Here we go. Somebody else who's had a really good year. When I say like night and day, it needs to actually be studied. Like a case study needs to be done on this individual. It is none other than the Bama Barbie, Alandria Carthen. As you can see, Love Island star Alandria Carthen officially named a Wikipedia It Girl alongside industry legends. Yeah, I didn't stutter. They knew exactly why they said that. And again, if you guys watched Love Island this past season, it really did take us by storm. I personally have never watched Love Island prior to this season, but episode 1, when I tuned in and saw her, I was instantly drawn to her. And I feel like a lot of the backlash she's gotten, a lot of the insults and the naysayers that keep coming at her neck, I really just don't understand what it's for at this point, because every single time she is somebody that takes the high road. Just like our forever First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, you go high. I feel like she really does live up to that. And I mean, coming from one Gemini to another, I know how low we can take it. For real, I know how low we can take it. And I just commend her for that. I commend her for just being not only beautiful on the outside, but in the inside as well. And if you guys ever tune into any of her live streams, if you guys ever listen to her in any of her interviews, I think that she truly is the real deal. I think that she really just carries herself with so much poise and class. And I am glad to see everything positive coming her way. Let's read. So, Alandria Carthen is no longer just a reality TV favorite. The Love Island USA season 7 star has achieved a rare feat by being added to Wikipedia's official list of It Girls, cementing her status as a generational muse. By appearing on this curated list, the Decatur, Alabama native is now categorized alongside some of the most influential women in fashion and entertainment history, including supermodel pioneers Grace Jones and Iman, as well as the Bear actress Ayo Edebiri. This recognition comes after a year where Alandria redefined what it means to transition from a dating show to high fashion stardom. Known to her fans as Bama Barbie, the Tuskegee University graduate became a household name in 2025 for her poise, stunning beauty, and her fan favorite relationship with Nick Van Steenberg, which CNN famously dubbed a cultural phenomenon. Unlike many who stick to the influencer path, Alandria has been strategically positioned by her team as the next big thing in fashion, recently making her runway debut for Sergio Hudson and sitting front row at major events for Brandon Blackwood and the CFDA Awards. Her It Girl designation reflects the massive impact she's had. In October 2025, she was honored as part of Cosmopolitan's Z Stars class of 2025, a list reserved for creators who define trends and mold our culture. Whether she's going viral for a sold out NYX Cosmetics lip or speaking on leadership at Harvard Business School, Alandria has proven that her magnetism is undeniable. I couldn't agree more. And that, again, is why I say everything good that's coming to her, I feel like it's very rightly deserved, especially if you did watch the show and seen how she was done. I think the sky is really the limit. And I really do commend her and her team for, just like the caption said, not trying to get her just to just be in this one little box, but actually branch out. If you've heard her say before, she always like was interested in modeling and stuff like that, but she didn't think, she was tall enough or whatever. And this really just is a testament to just sticking true to yourself and knowing that whatever is for you is going to be for you regardless. And also, a lot of the naysayers that come at not only just her neck, but also Nick's neck about the relationship and stuff, I am also very glad that they didn't just stick to doing couples content or anything like that. I feel like she's made a name for herself just as well as Nick has been doing his own thing over here too. And I feel like that just multiplies the streams of income at that point, because you have your individual stuff, you got your stuff together, like. And I also know that they've decided to kind of shy away from being so public with their relationship. And I love that for them, because you guys got to think, I feel like there was a lot of pressure. There's a lot of additional pressure placed onto these individuals that go on these shows and stuff like that, to come out of the house, to come out of off the set and just expect them to be basically walking down the aisle next week. And it's just like, is that really real though? Is that really honestly how things work? I mean, yes, for some people, you meet somebody, you get together, 2 weeks later, you're married. And some people stay married 40, 50, 60, 70 plus years after that. I'm not saying that is impossible, but I feel like it's not always the realistic route that we see work out for everybody. And I do feel like sometimes what's best is to take things a little bit slower, to know that when you are a public figure, or even just someone like myself that does put a lot of my life online, you got to know what should just be reserved for your eyes only. You got to know what you want to put out there, and what you got to keep something close to the chest. You honestly do. That's always been my belief, and that's something I live by. Just look at the Beyoncés of the world and stuff like that. She only puts out there the things that she wants us to know, and it's not because people are being fake, but it's because they're safeguarding their peace. And I respect her for that, and I'm so excited to see what more she has in store for us come 2026, honey. Let's pan over to some people that should I venture to say that aren't having as good of a year. And honestly, y'all, this is breaking news as of like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours ago that came across my screen that I wanted to share with you all. In recent news, I'm like so bad at these controls today. I don't know why. So this actually just came across my timeline not too long ago. And as it states, Britt Edie announces her marriage is over. And if you guys watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, then you already know who this chick is. You already know why she was on why her name was on the tips of our tongues, and why her name was mentioned, and why we even know who she is this year is because of the impact. I shouldn't even say the impact. Well, yeah, sure. The impact that she had on the show this past season. So I'm not going to say I'm surprised by this, but was I expecting to see it on day 365 of 2025? No, I wasn't. But I had to drop this in the group chat when it came through. Let me just read what she said. I'm posting this on the last day of 365 to remove this facade of faking like this marriage is going to work. Everybody can't come into the next chapter. I'm done hurting and I want to be happy in my next chapter. Cheers to 2026 of putting my happiness first. And for the record, as much as I can't stand him, we are not going to create a false narrative that I'm walking away because of any fake rumors. I wonder if that is a nod to what a lot of people were saying, which is that they were in a lavender marriage and this was never real from the get-go. I mean, I'm just saying. And then she also went on to say, it took me a while, but I finally realized what triggers my toxicity. It's disrespect. I can be chill, fun, easy to get along with. I can vibe with anybody, but the second I feel disrespected, everything in me shifts. My peace goes out the window, my patience disappears, and that soft version of me turns sharp real quick. I'm self-aware enough to know I'm a good woman. I'm kind, I'm genuine, I'm understanding, and I always try to lead with love. But that's exactly why disrespect hits so deep, because I know how much grace I give before I ever lose it. When I snap, it's never random, it's a reaction. What you put in is what you get out of me. Still, I'm learning not to let people pull me out of character, learning that not everyone deserves a response, learning that peace is better than proving a point, because growth isn't about never being triggered. It's about recognizing what triggers you and protecting yourself before you get there. Know your triggers, guard your peace, stay away from the people, places, and situations that force you to become someone you've worked too hard to outgrow. What are some people saying in the comments though? Shout out to C Diggy One, shout out to Chris. Child, let's leave her in 2025. Automatic like. She really could have kept this to herself because nobody is checking for her. She was the only one who ignored his true preference until everyone started talking. Again, that just is a nod to what I just said, y'all. A lot of people were saying that it was giving lavender marriage. I can say that I never saw any love struck, over the moon gestures and feelings on screen. But again, I'm never going to be one to put 20 on 10 when it comes to how people show up in their relationships on screen. However, I will always make a mental note. I do think a lot of times when people come onto these shows, the real true dynamics and the ways in which they interact are amplified a lot of times and of course scrutinized. So am I surprised? No, I'm not. I do feel like I just said, I do think this little disclaimer, and for the record, as much as I can't stand him, we're not going to create a false narrative that I'm walking away because of any fake made up rumors. So I guess that was her way of saying that we're not breaking up because of his assumed sexuality or anything like that. But again, I'm not interested in seeing her going forward. So I really could care less, to be honest, y'all. I feel like this is just more reason why I'm like, goodness, Kenya, like, can you just come back? Because this girl was clearly, what she showed us was clearly some BS. We already knew that, but even more so now, based on this, I feel like we know it's even more BS because her saying, as much as I can't stand him, those aren't just feelings that come up out of nowhere. Those aren't feelings that just, again, based off what we saw on the show and whatnot, that was you trying to sell this narrative. And that really only just goes to show, once again, bravo, your vetting process needs a lot of work. Just saying. And again, speaking of Kenya, I really hope in some capacity or another, she comes back on our screens in 2026. I mean, her fall from grace this year was really, really, really sad for me, even being somebody who was not a day one Kenya stan. I wasn't. But in recent years, as I've said on my recaps, as I've said on my lives and whatnot, she is somebody who has grown on me quite a bit. In these last couple of seasons of the show, more specifically as she became a mother. But I do hope and pray that in some fashion she does come back onto our screens. I haven't really, let me see, what has she been up to lately? One second, let me see. Let's go to her page. I haven't really heard anything about her salon. I know that was a topic of conversation quite a bit this season, or this year as well. I'm saying, just based on the fact that this lawsuit has came down the pipeline and whatnot, I'm not holding my breath on seeing her on the Real Housewives of Atlanta anytime soon. But I'm really praying. I'm really hoping and praying that, like, I would love to see her on Traders. I would love to obviously see her back on the show, but I just don't see that happening. I honestly, at this point, I see Nene coming back before her, just based on some of the recent news that we've been getting. I don't know, y'all. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about Kenya Moore's 2025? How do you feel about her going into 2026? Let me know in the comments. So it looks like she's been over in Dubai or whatever, which, good on her. Good on her. But yeah, I don't even think she's been back on her YouTube channel or anything like that. I don't know what she has going on, but I do hope 2026 treats her better than the hand that she was dealt. I'm not even gonna just say the hand that she was dealt, the hand that she was dealt on behalf of her actions, because as much as I don't care about Britt Edie, or shout outs to Rodney the Voice, Bang Bang Edie, I can't negate the fact that she did, unfortunately, publicize something that she shouldn't have publicized at her place of work, at her business. That I hope that she has really stepped back and realized, how she was her own worst enemy in that regard, and what not to do going forward. I definitely expect more from her. What else? What else do we want to talk about, y'all? You know who else has had a amazing year? I'm looking at my notes. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I put this in here somewhere. Okay, so yeah, next up on our 2025 pop culture recap is none other than the queen herself, Beyonce. I mean, could it be a recap without reflecting on all things Beyonce 2025? Of course not. So I did recently see that she was named, well, not named, but yeah, she was named a, here it is, which I was, even as much as I got for her, I guess I didn't realize that she wasn't considered a billionaire just yet. I mean, I guess that's, cool, of course. Do I want to, do I wish I had some of those billions? Of course I do. But I want to say this has a lot to do with the success, obviously, of her Cowboy Carter tour, that not only earned her the album of the year, which was pivotal. If you guys remember back in previous years and stuff like that, she was snubbed, I will say it with my full chest, not just one time, but several times, on, I feel like, album of the year. So she did finally gain that at this year's Grammys. But yeah, now Forbes has dubbed her a millionaire as well. So I guess that's, obviously a good year for her. It is what it is. So this was by the Shade Room, as you can see. One thing about it, we know Beyonce is going to get the bag. According to Forbes, she has officially passed the billionaire threshold. We all know that Beyonce has various ventures, both inside and outside of entertainment, including her hair care line Sacred, her whiskey brand Sir Davis, which I tried this year, and her clothing line Ivy Park. It's noted that her pivot toward country music led to the genre's most successful concert tour, earning her 10 figures. The Cowboy Carter era not only earned Album of the Year at the Grammys, but it also led to a Christmas NFL halftime performance, commercial opportunities, and the world's highest grossing concert tour of 2025. Forbes estimates that the Cowboy Carter tour grossed more than $400 million in ticket sales. About $500 of those was from me, according to Polestar, and an additional $50 million in merchandise was sold at the shows. With her company Parkwood producing it all, Beyonce reportedly earned the higher profit margins with what she made on tour, along with earnings from her music catalog and sponsorship deals. Forbes is estimating that Queen Bee made $148 million in 2025 before taxes, all of which makes her the third highest paid musician in the world. She reportedly collected an estimated $50 million, including production costs from her Christmas Day halftime show, as well as another estimated $10 million from her collaboration with Levi's. All in all, Forbes is crowning her the fifth musician to join the billionaire status. Yeah. And exactly, like, oh, please, she's been a billionaire. Yeah, like, interesting. No, I will say that she does work hard. I will say that, you know, that's cool for her. I would like to see a lot more people of color, women of color, earn that title and have that much success as well. It all comes with, you know, just the longevity and being dedicated to your craft and stuff. I say that Cowboy Carter was my favorite album? No, it was not. I did think it was cute. There are songs on it that I do enjoy. I'm not going to say I've gone back and listened to it through and through as many times as I have some other albums. Specifically like Renaissance, for instance. But I do think I think the major thing for me in regards to her this year was just really winning that Album of the Year after seeing it slip through her fingers so many different times, when I feel like she was put up again, when that album was put up against other albums that I feel like in the past she definitely should have earned it on top of. Hey, my good sis Nola Reeds came through. Appreciate you. I thought she's been a billionaire. Yeah, that's why when I saw this, I was kind of like, But that's what Forbes says, child. What else? What else, y'all? Let's talk a little bit more about like some TV shows that I actually recently got into that I am like really, really, oh my, when I say y'all, I was so late to this, but so grateful that I didn't let 2025 go past me without indulging in, is this right here, y'all. Oh, I can't wait until season 2. So apparently there's supposed to be 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. Goodness, welcome to Derry. I might rewatch it this weekend. Who knows? I really enjoyed this way more than I anticipated. It is not my favorite like horror movie. It's not. Halloween is, Michael Myers is. If you guys know me, then you know. But when I say I have been, oh my God, I'm like so obsessed with this show. I will say that my favorite like thriller, sci-fi, whatever series right now is always going to be From, regardless. If you guys aren't familiar, get familiar, just FYI. But I would definitely put Welcome to Derry right after From. And I know that horror, scary, thrilling type of shows are not for everybody. I get it. But when I say this, really, like, the casting is on point. I like the story development. I'm trying to think of something I didn't like. I can't even think. There were some characters that got on my nerves quite a bit in the first couple episodes. What's her name? Marge was getting on my nerves for the first couple episodes, but in the end, I think I was kind of expecting it to there's 8 parts. It's eight episodes in the series, but I was definitely expecting them to just give us a big old cliffhanger at the end. But I can say that I really enjoyed how it closed this season, this first season. Like I said, I did see online that there is supposed to be 3 seasons. I will be locked in for those. If you guys want to see me, if you guys want to talk about them or whatever, just let me know in the comments. I have no problem doing that. Hey sis, my good sis California Cuties in here as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel, and we will be coming to you all I think tomorrow with our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So stay tuned for that. Come on, big. Don't care. Oh, thank you. But yes, it's I can honestly see why it was one of the biggest horror releases of 2025. So it takes us back to 1962 in Derry, Maine, and this is decades before like the Losers Club, and it's supposed to be a prequel to the It movies, which are based on the novel, which honestly I think I'm gonna have to. I haven't gotten into any Stephen King novels, but I think for 2026 I will jump into some Stephen King. I think I will start with It. I gotta still round up how many books I read this year. I know I didn't hit my goal. I feel like bit off a little bit more than I can chew with that one, and I slacked during certain points during this year. I put a goal out of reading like 100 books this year. I didn't even make it halfway, but I still think that I read a lot more than a little bit. I know I did, so there's that. But yeah, I think I'll jump into this book next. It just, when I say there were themes of like cruelty, silence, prejudice, like all the things. I like how much of the cast was there's a lot of Black actors and actresses on the cast. So, I'm always here for that. And I feel like it just, again, the story development was spot on. I feel like I'm not, again, somebody that really gets scared by horror movies and stuff like that. But if I'm just taking myself out of the equation and placing somebody else in my place, I'll say that the jump scares and the more scary elements and moments and timing and stuff like that was spot on. Yeah, it just, I really, really enjoyed it. Pennywise, I don't remember what was the actor's name. He did a really good job, I will say. I'm over here really trying to think of anything that I didn't like. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Easter eggs. I, of course, watched some different content creators and their recaps and stuff like that. And there were, of course, things that I missed, things that I kind of picked up on, but needed just a little bit more explanation on. It's really good. If I could recommend a series, I would definitely recommend this one, y'all. Okay, and then also, let me see if I can get the graphic for this. Just to talk about a something else that really had an emotional impact on me this not this season, this year in 2025, y'all. And the only reason why I haven't talked about this is because I don't typically get super like boo-hooey and like I don't really get super emotional when I'm watching a lot of things. But when I say I watched this and I couldn't even rewatch it in order to come back to you guys, in order to gather enough notes to really come back to you guys and break it down like you know how I like to do, I wasn't even able to do that because I genuinely I couldn't watch it again. I couldn't watch it again. Like even right now, just talking about it, like I'm starting to tear up a little bit because I remember when this tragedy actually happened in real life. Like I remember when it hit the newspapers and stuff like that, and I always knew that there was more to the story. Um, uh, Hold on, I'm trying to find a graphic for it. Okay, here we go. Hey, y'all, make sure you are also subscribed to my brother, So Debonair's channel. He will be going live this evening to bring in 2026. I will probably be at dinner, but I do plan on popping in the comments, at least to, of course, show my love or watch the replay. Make sure you guys, if you guys are going to have some time, if you guys can spare some time, make sure you head on over there and tell them I sent you. I'm like really okay. Here we go. Sorry, y'all. So, The Perfect Neighbor was a documentary on Netflix that dropped. It was a couple months ago, October. I could be making that up, but it was directed by Gita Gambier, true crime documentary, and it premiered at the Sundance Film Festival and then was later released on Netflix. It uses almost only police body cam footage. It's not the typical sit down and have people just talking to the camera and stuff like that. No, it didn't give us that. It was actually real life like footage, and maybe that's why like I'm dramatic. I am dramatic, y'all. Anybody who knows me knows I'm dramatic, but I'm not being dramatic when I say this disturbed me like through and through, because again, I remember when it happened, seeing AJ, Ajika Owens, a 35-year-old Black mother of 4 children, just seeing her actually going through what her and her children were going through on behalf of their white neighbor, Susan Lawrence, whatever. And this happened in Ocala, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Just seeing all this go from just neighborhood tensions, go from, just the children wanting to play outside in an area that was not her fucking property. Just seeing that then transpire to, her being unalived was something that I could never, be prepared for, that no one can ever be prepared for. And I am aware that the documentary was not put out to, it was really just put out on behalf of the children and because their grandmother now is has custody, is now taking care of them and stuff like that. So this was a way for them to, of course, gain some income and stuff like that, which I totally am in support of. But when I say it deals with all of those things, systemic racism, prejudice, it was all of that in one. And I feel like, again, because of how it was depicted, because it was the footage and stuff like that of the police being called time and time and time and time and time again to this neighborhood, I think that that just is why it just makes it even more real, and doesn't really, I feel like, shouldn't give people any opportunity to scrutinize or to say anything other than that was fucked up and that should have never happened. And I feel like that's what it was for me. The whole time I knew what was going to happen. So it just, it was heavy. It was really heavy. And like, racial bias is real. Definitely pulled into question Florida's stand your ground laws. It just dealt with a lot of stuff that is really real in this world right now. And I just, I don't even, I can't even put into words again how deep it got for me. Let me know if you guys watch this. Let me know what you guys thought. Rest in peace to AJ Owens, of course. I hope the children are doing as well as they, possibly can. Shout outs to her mom. Shout outs to the other kids in the neighborhood. This was, very tragic, and it wasn't something that would happen behind closed doors. This happened right out there, on the lawn and stuff like that. It's traumatic. I can't even just begin to understand the gravity of that type of trauma. But again, I couldn't let this year pass by without showing some type of or shedding some type of focus, shedding some light on the impact that this documentary had on me. You know what else was a impactful documentary, y'all? An interesting documentary that was a little bit more recent. This right here. The Diddy documentary on Netflix. I can't say that I was surprised by a lot of what happened, but just to really get a timeline and to also pull in other individuals and to get insight into what has really been going on as it pertains to him for all these years, it was really interesting, and I think it was really well done. I didn't really feel a way about 50 Cent, of all people, being the executive producer on it, because a lot of people don't understand how production and things of that nature, like, people don't really understand how that all breaks down. I wasn't focused on that. I just was focused on really the victims. Really, one of the individuals that really pissed me off, though, in this, a couple of individuals, I should say, in this documentary, was the fucking the jurors that were involved with the case and stuff like that. What was her name? Juror. Is it Juror 160? Yeah. When I tell you she pissed me the fuck off, y'all. If Starstruck was a person, it would be her. And if you watch it, you probably know why I'm saying that. And just between her and then also this juror, I can't remember, yeah, this other man up here. I hope he doesn't have any daughters. I hope, again, a lot of people are still, of course, going to come forth and say like, oh, this didn't happen, there's no possible way, oh, it's trying to take a black man down. Bullshit. I don't believe that everybody could be lying. It's very, very much too coincidental for all of this just to have happened just because, by chance. It was interesting how this was acquired to me, and I feel like that's even telling in itself. Yes, it was very interesting. My sister said the documentary was interesting. It was just to get a different type of glimpse into it. I know a lot of people were saying that they didn't really care too much for how they portrayed the friendship between Biggie and Tupac as them being like best friends that unfortunately dealt with a wedge being placed between them, a wedge being Diddy. I don't have as much knowledge on that to say like, oh my God, no, that was completely false or true or whatever. Again, what I was most focused on was the victims. What I was most focused on was just how it got to this point and like just the bigger picture of it all. So if you guys do have some time, I would definitely give it a gander. And yeah, it's still on Netflix. So yeah, you guys should definitely take a look at it if you are interested, in case if you are wanting to get some insight into it. It's 4 parts. It dealt with, again, like all the controversies. It gave there's victim testimony, etc. And right now he is serving this 50-month prison sentence. Y'all let me know. Do you guys? I wonder if he's gonna wind up serving the whole time. Do I think that he'll come out and be unchanged? No, I think that he'll just come out and we'll learn how to do it a different way. If you guys do watch it, you'll know like how his mind was conditioned into thinking into these actions and what how it led to where we're at now with it. And I don't feel like that's something that just gets undone like that. I don't, especially knowing like how even at the trial, he wasn't really scathed or was kind of just, again, just seeing the footage, because the footage was all collected obviously based on the fact that he thought that he was about to get off on this. He thought that he was about to rise above this, and this is going to be like a way for him to put out his documentary to tell his side of it and stuff like that. A lot of the things that he was saying, it gave us a real glimpse into his character and how he went into this whole thing. I don't feel like that is something that, again, yeah, you just that you just come out of thinking like, no, like this is who he is. But again, there'll still be people like these motherfucking jurors that just think like, oh, there's no way that that's possibly true, and there's no no, like clearly people don't understand the cycle of abuse is what this taught me. Clearly people don't understand how coercion and intimidation works. And again, that's why I say I pray to God y'all don't ever come across this type of individual, that your loved ones don't come across this type of individual, because they will get fucking got, because you're being so fucking naive and so blind and willfully ignorant towards the fact that there are some fucked up people out here that are just fucked up. That's what it is at the end of the day. Hey, princess. I wouldn't say was a friendship, but there was definitely automation on both. Yeah, I definitely picked up on that, but I don't think that, again, a lot of people were just like, no, they weren't, like best friends and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I mean, yeah. I've been watching from the back. I was doing my makeup, now I'm doing mine. Oh, I'm about to do that pretty much when I get off of here. Oh my God, it's already been like an hour. Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry that I can't possibly have enough time to talk about all these things. Oh, yes, everybody, if you are going out tonight, please be safe. Again, because it is my anniversary. Like, we do, of course, go out and stuff. We really never do. We're not big partiers like that to where I'm about to be in somebody's club or anything like that. But we are going to dinner and stuff. So please be mindful, be cognizant if you are going to be on the road. If you are going to be drinking, get a designated driver, get an Uber, get a Lyft, get a taxi, get whatever you can. If you guys go together, you should come back together. Like, all the things, y'all. I should have said that in the beginning. Let me see if I can touch on at least one or two more things, y'all, before we get out of here. I apologize if we, based on the thumbnail, if you guys came down here expecting us to talk about a certain thing that we didn't get to. This really sucks. I'm so sorry that I got lost today and that I could now not touch on everything I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay. So this was something that I really wanted to touch on because I wanted to come and talk about it when it actually happened. One second, because this. So I remember one morning I was just like doing my usual Sunday chores, cleaning my house, cleaning the bathroom, meal prepping, etc. And I need something to listen to. And I just so happened to go on TikTok, and the first thing that came across my screen was something called the Danish deception. Y'all, if you guys have no idea, then now you know. There was a 30-part TikTok series called The Danish Deception, and it was narrated by Onyeka. I'm trying to say her name right because apparently she don't say her own name right. And she was just detailing this whirlwind romance that eventually unraveled, and she went into great detail about what all transpired and how it wound up costing like her family and friends and herself hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that was because the man that she wound up marrying was supposed to be this Danish royalty, Olympian, blonde hair, blue eyes, Hercules type muff, and was not at all any of those things. And I feel like just like this is pretty much what is at the basis of this entire thing for me. People are delulu through and through. Oh, thank you. We love you too, sis. When I say this just gave us a glimpse into how people can be willfully ignorant, proximity to whiteness, social isolation, complicity, again, delusional, like just all the things that could possibly go wrong, be wrong, can represent a wrong, toxic situation were present in this right here. And I hope she got out of it what she wanted to. And a lot of people were saying that she really only came down here to talk about it as a way of getting ahead of the story, because there were several parts. If you guys watched it, there were several parts where it did feel like this is only like it was only a problem when it was a problem for her. Because it's like there were several times where she said she didn't trust him, but she continued moving forward towards the wedding. And it shows that her mindset is a byproduct of social conditioning. And I knew as soon as she said she sent a picture of her passport to this man that she only met once and had a drink or two or dinner with or whatever, I knew from right there that there was a problem. Because who the fuck are you sending a picture of your passport to and you don't know them from a can of paint for real? But you were just so captivated by this blonde hair, blue-eyed, Danish God, so to speak, that you just allowed yourself to get got. And it's because she was so dead set on, I feel like, trying to fulfill this fantasy and be in this fantasy world. And in the end, you just look completely crazy. You allowed him to talk you into quitting your job. You were just so dead set on sending him money after payment after payment after payment, and it just was so stupid to me. It really was. It just, and again, a lot of the things could have been easily verified by, there's, all of us have access to Google, have access to different things. If you don't have access, if you are not a super sleuth online, then I'm sure, one of your girlfriends or one of your friends or whoever is. And I'm sure a lot of this can be done with just some clicks of the button, because not only did you make yourself a target, did you make yourself vulnerable, you also allowed your family members to be vulnerable too. And it really just shows that she had a very low racial self-esteem. Honestly, I do feel like that. I really do. And I feel like, again, it was only um it was only an issue when it was an issue for her. Because each and every time it came down to them, to them showing up. No, I'm not gonna take it there. But like, I feel like she intended for some like good to come from talking about this. And she was trying to help, other people, and she was speaking publicly under the guise of wanting to help people and other women not fall victim to this same thing. But in the end, she was also speaking poorly of another woman that she apparently saw, or a friend saw him with. So it's just like, you did this to help women, but you also were discrediting, not even discrediting, you were also insulting women based on things that you said at the end of the segments and stuff like that. It just was really weird to me. And it's even clear too that I feel like she was still living in a dreamland, because in the end he left her. And I feel like if he hadn't left her, she would have still been, quote unquote, trying to make this work, trying to go forth with this wedding and all these different things. And it was crazy. It was crazy, y'all. Again, if you guys watched it, hey cousin, if you guys watched it, get down in these comments. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Because, honey, I was just shaking my head pretty much throughout all 30 of the parts. For real. And it was like, once again, y'all, the red flags be there. You just have to want to see them and do what's necessary when you do see them. But in the end, people, unfortunately, I feel like we're moving in 2026, and there will be people that are moving to 2026 with us that are still just so dead set on being chosen. And yes, you guys are probably going to be like, oh, this is rich coming from you, like, because you're married and it's your anniversary and all this different stuff. Like, no, I say this as a married woman on her 7 years ago today, I got married. I still will sit here and I will say in front of him, in front of anybody, that, that's not everybody's future, and that's okay. There's so many other things out here that are important. There's platonic relationships. There's just so many different things in life that you should be grateful for and that you could be focused on, that aren't involving attaching yourself to somebody. And that's okay. And that's okay. But, I don't know. I hope she's I don't know. I don't even know what I hope she is, because like I said, she would still be in the situation if he hadn't left her. Again, I wanted to come and talk about that a couple weeks ago when it was trending and stuff like that, but I never got a chance to. So I want to make sure I hit on that, y'all. Unfortunately, I think this is all the time I have to really talk about some different things, y'all. I wish, again, I had not messed up and given myself more time to be able to talk about all the things I wanted to. But all in all, those were definitely some different things that I wanted to make sure I touched on this year. And I'm definitely looking forward to what 2026 has in store for us. I'm feeling really good moving into it. I have a very clear description of what I want to see my year looking like, how I want to surround myself, places I want to see, people I want to meet, all the different things. There's a lot I feel like that I'm trying to accomplish in this next year. And I, again, could not be moving into this next year with, especially on this platform, without all of the help and support and love that you all show me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody watching. I love and appreciate you all so, so much. I can't wait to see what is in store for my channel and all things that we're going to talk about and discuss and jump into next year. Like I said, I will be back. Me and my sis will be back to discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's. This isn't the finale episode, but this is the episode before the finale. So we're definitely going to hit that up. There's a lot of great shows that I want to talk about going into next year. That are going to be airing next year. I've been catching up on, RuPaul's Drag Race comes on this week, I want to say, right, Friday. The Traders comes on. We got Real Housewives, the road trip show coming up soon. Real Housewives Rhode Island. We have so much stuff that is going to be coming down the pipeline this year, and I can't wait to talk about all those things. Reality TV, pop culture, and just other topics, whatever you guys want to see us jump into in 2026. Please let us know. Let me know in the comments. I would love to always open up. I always want to open up the floor to your guys' feedback and stuff. There's a lot of good things coming down the pipeline, so I'm excited, very, very excited, y'all. I'm grateful to be moving into this next year with my health and intact. I just did my blood work last week. I can't wait to get back in the gym. I already started my workout journey. I've been going strong for like 2-3 months now, so I'm excited to carry that into the new year. I get back into yoga on Friday. I'm looking forward to it, y'all. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you all are as well. And yeah, again, shout out to everybody for coming through. I appreciate you all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. Follow me on my socials. And yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.